Brindlewood Bay is not unlike any other small New England coastal town. Except, of course, for all the murders. It's lucky, then, that the local Murder Mavens Mystery Book Club is so prone to meddling in affairs typically left to the police. There's nothing like a good mystery.
So we have our nice opening pan across the picturesque tourist beachside town of Brindlewood Bay, where 80% of the inhabitants are retirees like yourselves, and maybe 20% are other locals who support the tourism trade and all of you. But we actually keep panning a little bit off the water onto a actual TV set where a spin-off of the jolly good British baking show is being filmed right here in Brindlewood Bay. They've got the white tents of the show. They've got trailers for the hosts and the judges. There is a huge pavilion where all of the baking is being done. And that is where you all are right now. All three of you have made it to the final 5 of the Great Brindlewood Bake Off, which is what they're titling the spin-off. So, you all know there are the 2 judges, Paul Riviera, Jane Leaf, and the 2 hosts, Sue Mellon and Timothy Bouche. Mm-hmm. And as the camera pans in, we see Sue, who is big, larger-than-life ex or current comedian in the UK. She goes, "Bakers, time is up on your bakes. Please step away from those pies." Yes, so you all step away from your bakes, and a little bit of time goes by. The producer of the show, Heath Hendricks, comes around and with a couple of assistants, helps you all arrange your pies at the end of your benches so that they look really nice. And in walk Paul Riviera and Jane Leaf. Paul and Jane start their walk around, and let's roll again and see what order you're in. Roll those 2d6.
Why am I actually nervous?
I know.
I got an 11.
Okay.
6.
Okay. So Joyce, you are at that first bench.
Oh my
Paul
goodness.
and Jane walk up to you, and Paul is medium height. They're both older. He's got silver fox vibes, silver hair, gray, steely, piercing eyes. He's wearing head-to-toe denim, maybe a little bit of a fake tan. And then Jane, just a little bit. Jane next to him actually reminds you a little bit of your pal Loretta. She's a little on the taller side, but she's got short hair. She's got big, chunky glasses that are like a bright blue that match this weird chunky necklace that she's wearing, which is also made of bright blue and bright yellow beads, with a blouse that also matches somehow. And they walk up to you. Jane goes, "All right, dear, tell us about your bake."
So you see Joyce Rickards at her bench. She's got very neat, tidy, long hair that is tied back in a bun with straight across bangs. And she is just buzzing with excitement. She's got a themed cardigan that is a sort of patchwork of granny squares that have cakes and pies and stuff all decorated around. She has themed earrings. One is a whisk and one is a wooden spoon. And then she has her wedding ring still on, which is a simple little wedding ring. And then matching elastic waist pants that are the same pink as the icing on the cupcakes on her cardigan. and then very, very comfortable, sensible shoes. But yeah, all the vibes of a kindergarten teacher, even though she is retired. All right, well, first of all, I just have to tell you that I love your show. I am so excited to be here, and I am thrilled to present to you my Peaches and Dreams pie. So this is a peach pie with a little bit of sweet cream mixed in, and as you can see, I've stamped out a bunch of shapes on the out of pie crust on the top to make it all sort of stars and moons, and then you've got a couple of sheep who are jumping over the clouds, and I just think it's so darling. I'm so pleased with how it turned out, and I really hope you enjoy it.
Right, well, you certainly managed to achieve quite a lot in the time you were given, so let's give it a try. And they cut out a slice and roll one more time for us. Let's see how the bake turned out.
Am I adding any skills to this, or
great question? Let's say no.
I mean,
flat roll.
No, that's fine. Flat roll. That is a 9.
Okay,
Nice.
Great. Yeah, that's not bad at all. So they take a bite. Paul has been pretty quiet so far, but you can see as he takes a bite of Peaches and Dreams, he kind of gives a little nod. Goes, "Not bad, that is. All right." And Jane goes, "Yes, it's the texture's lovely. The flavor, could be a little punchier for such a punchy personality." But
yeah, I maybe went a little bit overboard with the cream, but I was just so thrilled to be here that my hands were shaking.
Right. Well, looking forward to the next one. Thank you. And they move on. Okay, great. So Loretta, you are at the next bench back. Please tell us about your pie.
Yeah, so you come up, and I just first want to say, just to describe me a little bit, I've got big, poofy silver hair. Of course, I'm wearing all my beads. I also have pretty snazzy glasses. And if there's anything, I never met an animal print I didn't like. So maybe there's a little bit animal print in there. But as they approach, I'm going to be, sort of touching on myself and be like, "Oh my goodness, I'm so excited." Jane, can I just say, style icon. You just, ever since I first saw you, just knew you were just with kindred spirit. So I'm so excited. This is my to die for double cream chocolate pie. I make this for my nephews and they love it. There's a little bit of hazelnut liqueur in there. Don't tell their mother. But we make this for them every holiday and they just spark it up,
Incredible. All right, roll to see how it goes over.
Oh dear, that's a 6.
All right. So Paul, he's kind of been laughing as you're complimenting Jane on her style. And he goes in, takes a big bite, goes, "Well, that's quite American in flavor, isn't it?"
Well,
Yes,
I'm from the Long Island. That's as American as it gets.
Not quite sure. That's the sophisticated flavor profile we were looking for. But, it looks quite lovely, and I'm sure your family really loves it. Yes.
Stuff it down, like I said.
And Jane goes, "Yes, excellent attempt. We will be, once again, looking forward to trying your next bake. But thank you, Loretta, was it? Yes.
So wonderful hearing my name come out of your mouth. I love you.
Yes, you're great. Thank you so much." All right. So Violet, they come to you next.
So Violet is on the shorter side. She looks to be, she's an older lady. Her hair has gone quite silver, but it's quite long and it's braided down her back. She's wearing a lot of scarves in a lot of colors, in a lot of patterns. She wears big cat's eye glasses on a beaded chain. And she would normally have a couple of rings on, but you can see she set them to the side so she can bake and not get rings in it. Now, my bake that I have made is a moonbeam meringue constellation tart. This is a lemon lavender tart on a shortbread and sea salt crust. This is sea salt that I did harvest myself from just down the road.
Can you do that?
Yes, I mean, there's the ocean. It's full of salt.
Sure.
I've piped the meringue on top, and it's lovely and toasted, and there are little cutouts of shortbread cookies with bits of lavender throughout in shapes of stars and other celestial bodies, all arranged within. And I've just thrown a little bit of edible glitter all over the whole thing, and it has a lovely sort of lemon lavender flavor on top. Amongst all of these stars and glitter, there are some candied violets. And I've also included some edible sugar crystals. I like to call it fairy quartz.
Very detailed. Let's see how it tastes, shall we? Roll your 2d6. Let's see how it tastes.
7.
Okay. They both of the judges take bites, and you can see they're like, is it sour? Is it overwhelmingly sweet? Maybe.
It is. Violet really, really likes floral flavors.
So
it's just a lot of lavender. It's a lot of lavender.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Paul goes, right. Could have gone maybe a little harder with the sea salt, actually.
Really? Oh, I have some right here if you'd like to taste it.
Right. I think you're going to want to maybe tone it down just a bit for the final round. You know, we'd love to see you in the final, but excellent attempt.
Thank you so much.
Jane goes, yes, you've actually managed to create quite a strong floral flavor. Usually they're quite subtle and difficult to pick up, but you've really done a wonder here, really.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And they go off to the next contestant, to Melanie. And you see she has made kind of like perfect all-American pie. It's got apples, blueberries, cinnamon, and like pecans on top. Pecans, whatever.
You could say.
Yeah. Candied pecans on top. Oh, I guess I can roll for this. Let's see how she does. The judges actually seem kind of impressed with her pie. You've actually managed to combine American flavors in a way we've never tasted before. Not bad. And then they go over to Scott, who you see actually also speaks with a British accent. And you guys would know that he is not a local to Brindlewood Bay, even though this show is supposed to be only locals. Do you guys think that you actually watch the Jolly Good British Baking Show?
100%.
Yeah? Okay. Then those of you who are like especially avid followers would know that Scott was a contestant on a previous season, and he's kind of a stunt cast because he had a little bit of an on-camera argument with Paul. So he's here to stir up a little bit of drama. And his pie is by far the worst of the lot. He went savory, even though this was supposed to be a sweet pie round. So he's like, oh, I'm so excited. I've put in all sort like sausage and apple and Stilton cheese and baked a really good British pie crust. And Paul just goes, that's a soggy bottom. I'm sorry, mate. And with that, the judging is complete. The judges leave the tent. And then a little bit after, you guys are back at your little water cooler, just hanging out, and you hear a high-pitched female scream, like blood-curdling scream, and another woman in leopard print, head to toe, bottle blonde, looks to be maybe late 40s, runs in, and you guys know that this is Donna Riviera, Paul's wife. She runs in and she goes, "My husband! He's been murdered!" What? Paul, my poor Paul! And like is screaming and like running around, and the producer comes in. A bunch of people start running and are like, What happened?" "Well, I just went to get us something to eat, and I came back to the trailer, and there he was. He's dead." And she starts like,
"Oh, sorry. Are you sure? Because I mean, those eyes, the ice blue. Are you sure it just wasn't? Maybe you mistook that for like just lifelessness?"
"But they're closed."
Oh, okay, sorry.
Was there any signs of struggle or blood? Ladies, we've gotta...
What? She is like non-responsive. And like the producers come and calm her down. Somebody calls the police. And sure. After like half an hour, the police show up. Led by, they're not the best. And they are led by Sheriff, what the fuck is his name? I don't even know. It's Dalrymple, Sheriff Dalrymple. You guys know him. He is the local head of law enforcement. He has recruited you all, Mavens, previously to help with solving the rampant murders that afflict Brindlewood Bay. Knowing that you all are, mystery enthusiasts and that sort of thing. So after a little bit of talking to Donna and like the producers a little bit, he comes over to the three of you and he goes, "So this is kind of not great for Brindlewood Bay. Mavens, the Jolly Good British Baking Show coming here was kind of a big deal. So we're going to keep this down for as long as we can. The producers want to keep filming, so y'all are going to keep filming. The bake will be on tomorrow as planned. But in the meantime, I need you all to kind of see if you can suss out what happened here, because the producers also don't want us going through everybody's stuff. Everybody's nerves are on edge."
But you're saying they don't want us to go through people's stuff?
No,
How are we supposed to find any clues?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I said they don't want us, like the cops, to be going in.
Oh, wink, wink.
Sure, I can't really do that, but, I'm just saying if someone were to find some clues they could present to the local law enforcement, that might be helpful,
Okay.
You're basically the only ones here who I kind of don't think did it. So, if you had, you would probably be one of the most successful serial killers in the whole country.
You're too much.
Great. Right, so we know that's not the case. So we'll be kind of keeping the perimeter around the set, but that's about all, because we don't want the show to leave. This is really good, in theory, really good PR for Brindlewood Bay to have.
It was supposed to boost our tourism.
Right.
After all the murders.
Right. Well, that's a trade in itself, but
Sure.
Anyway.
The ghost tour industry in this town is just booming.
I was about to say.
Mm-hmm. The Ghosts on the Coast tour. Yeah.
We should just market the murders.
Okay.
No?
I'm here to solve them, mainly.
All right.
So if you ladies could just help me along with that, so that by the time this show wraps up, we have everything on lock,
And Where is the dead? Was it in his trailer? Is that where he's dead?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
It was found in his
Gotcha.
trailer. Yes.
Where's Donna? Have you already interviewed her?
I got what I could out of her, but she's kind of beside herself.
Such a
May I
doll.
ask what she shared with you, just so we can sort of cross-reference and see if she's consistent in her story?
Sure. Actually, make a meddling roll. I could say, because you said that, like, so we can cross-reference later, add your reason.
6 + 2 is 8.
Oh, okay. I mean, listen, I didn't really get anything useful out of her. She mentioned, I mean, obviously, over and over, Paul is dead. What's she gonna do? She mentioned a pair of earrings had been stolen. That's really it. She just kept going on and on about her poor Paul and what's she gonna do now without him. So, might take a gentle hand, to get her to open up about anything. I don't know. Something clearly is going on here. Once you see the body, I think you'll understand.
I guess we gotta go look at a body, huh?
Well, been a minute.
Sure. All right, I will leave you to it. If you need me, I'll be on the perimeter, like I said, of the set. Thank you, ladies, as always, and good luck. And he leaves. So, what is everybody thinking, investigation-wise? What kind of stuff do we want to check out?
I think we want to see the body.
Okay, great. So why don't we move to that scene first?
Before we go, can I just grab like a little bit of flour, or just put it in a little bowl or something that I want to bring with me?
Sure. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. Ample flour around. So you guys get to Paul's trailer. You can see that yellow tape has been put around it already, but because that roll was an 8, I'm going to say that your complication here is actually that Donna is sitting on the steps of the trailer and is 100% blocking your way in. She goes, "Oh, my poor Paul. What am I going to do now?"
I'm gonna sit next to her and put my arm around her and be like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry. And I heard earrings? Earrings too? Were those yours?"
The diamond earrings Paul got me. It was shaped like loaves of bread.
Oh, what a travesty.
Those sound like they were absolutely gorgeous and the most, just the most tasteful earrings you've ever heard.
They were. He got them for me when we, after he signed after he renewed his first contract with the Jolly Good Baking Show.
Oh.
He was so proud.
Did you, hear anything or see anything? If you would like, because I know it's a complicated time, I always find crafting to be very therapeutic. So if you would like, I could guide you through a sort of grieving process, crafting activity. Maybe you could help, use it as an emotional outlet to kind of sort out your feelings. I have them right here, and I pull out my accordion file of papers and stickers and crimping shears, and start sort of laying them out and saying, "Hey, would you like to, maybe just try and process everything that happens, just get it all out on the page." I was hoping to get more information out of her by convincing her to get creative.
Yeah, I would say, you can do the meddling move with presence, or if you want to be using your scrapbook kit, your portable scrapbook kit, you can mark that as used by checking it and give yourself advantage on the roll without presence.
I'll do the advantage.
Okay, cool.
Then I'll just... Okay, that's an 11.
Oh,
Okay.
hell yeah. She goes, I've never liked the idea of crafting, but, well, why not? All right. And she sits down and like gets really invested in like cutting stuff up. You can see she's kind of getting angry as she's cutting stuff up, and is like angry crying and like stamping paper just like really randomly.
Yes, goes, take the glitter glue.
As she's like kind of making some designs on the paper, I'll say she both moves out of the way of the trailer and goes, you know, with all of the back and forth that's been going on with Paul's most recent contract renewal, it's just been so stressful. And now he hadn't officially signed anything yet, so I don't know what's going to happen to me now that he's gone. And she like stamps a couple more times. She goes, he just really had to go and push those negotiations. Really had to. Couldn't live without his bejeweled rhinestone boots. Just... What? Why would somebody do this?
Can I take a look at the craft that she has made and inspect it for any like clues or information? Like if she has scrapbooked out something that you had perhaps repressed.
Sure. I mean, you see that there's a pattern of like loaves of bread, but it's kind of mostly nonsensical. She doesn't have a crafting bone in her body. She is like if you took Loretta and subtracted the like charming old lady vibes. She oh, you know what? She was on the very short-lived Real Scouse-Wives of Liverpool. So that's her vibe.
And is she about Paul's... Does she look about Paul's age? Does she
No, she looks a little bit younger. Not like super significantly younger. Paul is probably like late 50s, early 60s. She's like late 40s. But
okay.
Younger. 10 to 15 years.
Now, Donna... I'm going to... I think I had a few extra shortbread, star-shaped shortbread, sea salt and lavender cookies.
Sure.
I'm going to hold those out and say, you poor dear. Now, can you... I'm so confused by the earrings. Did you leave them were they in the trailer, or...
Of course. They were in the trailer in my jewelry box.
Your jewelry box, and you noticed they were missing?
Yes, of course. I checked my jewelry first thing to make sure nothing was stolen.
I see. So...
And of course it was.
You know, I'm so confused. You know, I'm getting older. Maybe you can walk me through... I'm just a little lost. Maybe you can walk me through... You know, you came back to the trailer, and then what happened?
And then I saw my poor Paul's body on the floor. And he's... Well, why don't I just show you? She like throws the scrap paper down and like rips the tape off, so it clearly looks ripped, and opens the door. And inside, you guys see Paul Riviera lies there. His face is covered in flour.
I didn't need this. I sort of just toss the flour aside.
And his hands are tied behind his back with a very intricately plaited nylon cord. And you can see there's like a little bit of flour around his body too, and you can clearly see like stiletto footprint of where Donna walked through, like clearly knelt and looked at him, and then stepped through behind him to get to her jewelry box. And there's like a little flour footprint in front of the jewelry box.
And if I look down at Donna's shoes right now, just at a quick glance, does it look like the right shoe for that footprint?
Yeah, it does.
Can we take a look around for clues to see if there are any other footprints or handprints in the flour or anywhere around? Any other signs of disturbance?
Yeah, totally. You guys can choose who gets to do it, but you can have one meddling move in here as you kind of inspect the surroundings.
Oh, I got vitality for days. I could do it.
Yeah.
All right. And I also, in addition, just like looking around and like seeing what I see, I also want to check. Yeah, I'll get Donna's permission. But I also just want to see, is there other jewelry in there? Is it nice? Like, was there a reason they took the specific earrings? Also, a thing I'm looking for.
Sure. Ooh, I love that.
Oh, I did not do well. I got, with my +1, I got a 4.
Okay.
Well,
Do you want to do your crown thing? Do you want to do...
We each get 1 per game, right? Yeah, let me look.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay, so as I'm looking around, it reminds me of this, let's see, can I do a flashback of my late partner, Frank? Frank never was very good at fashion, okay? He didn't really understand me, but that's okay. You know, he was a quiet guy. I did all the talking in the relationship. It was kind of perfect. But one of our most romantic days was we were walking down. We were back in my hometown of Long Island, and, you know, we were walking by the store, and there were these earrings, and they were like little cherries. And this is before I got into making my own jewelry, right? So, like, to me, it was like mind-blowing. I didn't know you could have cherries on your ears. And before I even saw them, Frank was like, Loretta, those look like they should be on your ears. And that was when I knew. That was when I knew Frank was the one for me. And he bought them for me. And I tell you, every anniversary from then on, cherry earrings for days. It was amazing. So yes, I would like to use my crown of the queen, whatever it's called.
Okay. So with that, I'm going to say the other earrings look, because you were talking about those glass beads, look not quite as nice.
Are we talking not quite as nice, like fewer carats, or is this like a CZ situation? Like, is this cubic zirconium? Like,
yeah. That sort of situation. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's a zirconium kind of vibe. Yeah. Like rhinestones, like glass.
Okay.
Nothing wrong with the
jewels in there.
Sometimes they're more colorful.
Mm-hmm. And Loretta, I think you also find one of Paul's cookbooks open with one of the recipe pages torn out. And Donna clearly didn't go that far into the trailer. It's like in the tiny little kitchenette. That's the clue that you find. But I'm going to say the complication here is that, like, you have been, like, kind of rummaging through here. And in the meantime, Donna has pulled Violet and Joyce out with her. It's like, you guys have to come with me. I can't be alone right now. Please just come to the set with me and sit with me. And
can I do one little thing as she pulls me out of this trailer?
What do you want to do?
Just to check, I just want to, like, wet my pinky and just dot it in that white powder on his face and just rub it on my gums real quick before we go, just to double check that is actually flour.
Okay. So tell me, what are you afraid might happen if you do that?
Well, I could dose myself with like a drug that I wasn't emotionally prepared for.
Okay, so this is going to be a night move because it's approaching night.
So fair.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to tell you how it's worse. Yeah, it's going to be worse in that you will be out of commission for at least a few hours if you do this, and you do not know the source of this flour, so any of the flour on set could be this flour. You can not do that. That is an option.
Like,
okay.
I'm clearly gonna do it.
Okay.
Just establish how much of a bad idea it is.
Just giving you the option.
You gotta do it.
Go ahead and roll. Yeah.
Okay, so
what happened?
So it's a 6, but I know it's so early to be doing this, but I can't be out of commission for hours. So, oh man, what kind of crown can I put on? As I dip my finger in this mystery powder and just shove it in my mouth, because that's fine. I think to just a few weeks ago, Violet I am not a particularly private person, but you know, some things you realize late in life, and you just don't want everybody to know everything right away. And there is maybe a lady down the beach who we shared I might have made some special cookies, and just shared one, and things may or may not have happened that we need not speak of here. And, I haven't imbibed in any mind-altering substances since then, and it just brings it back a bit as I risk it all on what may or may not be flour.
Okay.
Anyway, that's a scene in the present day showing a burgeoning romance.
Oh, I love that. Go off, Violet. Great. So that bumps you up from full failure to 7 to 9. So you put this, presumably flour, to your mouth and instantly start to feel nauseous and lightheaded. I'm going to give you the condition. I'll give you the condition intoxicated. You feel a little slow. You feel your speech is a little bit slurred. You don't have great control over your limbs. Like, you're not like falling over or anything, but you just feel like your dexterity is maybe not quite where it is.
Did it taste like flour that had been dosed, or did it taste like just something that looked like flour and was not at all flour?
It tasted like flour. It tasted like flour, for sure. Then as Donna is leading you all back off, away from the trailer, back into kind of the baking area. As you're walking in, she's just like talking like nonstop. She's not even looking at you guys. She's just like, I don't know what my future is going to be without Paul, and I don't know. Do I have to go back to London now without him, or do I stay here? I'm not sure what I need to do. And as you guys walk in, you see on the ground, also surrounded by flour, Scott Lamb, one of your fellow contestants. No, one of your fellow contestants.
As we walk into the main tent? Oh boy.
Oh my. Can we go up and take a look at him? Is there anything else around him? Is there anyone else here, or is he alone?
Make a meddling move with reason.
Sure. That's a 4. A hot 4.
Okay. You don't see anything going on, or like you don't see anybody else in here right away. You see that there is flour around him, and you see that he has a baking tray. He's holding it like in his hands, but he is clearly dead. And as you're like kind of leaning over to inspect this, I'm going to say that Sheriff Dalrymple comes in to the tent.
Sure.
Another body?
I'm as confused as you are. I mean, I came in here.
And Donna starts freaking out again. And the sheriff, he goes, okay, well, now you are on the suspect list. So I'm going to need you guys to not leave the set. We just got a big, like, tour bus thing to come in here on set so that you contestants could have somewhere to sleep without leaving the set. I'm going to need you all to retire to that place right now.
I retired 18 years ago.
I've never been employed.
Okay, so, and he just kind of takes the three of you and ushers you out of the set and like walks you to the like tour bus, basically. And you see that Melanie is already in there, but he like walks you in and watches you go in. And now you guys are suspects. You can add a condition, both of you, to suspected. And we're going to cut back to Loretta. You are in the back, like, rummaging through stuff when you hear the door slam and Joyce and Violet leave. So you're in here alone. You discovered the cookbook. Where would you like to go? What would you like to do? Sure.
Okay, all right. I'm going to think through this. All right, I've got the cookbook. I'm going to see what page it was, and I'm going to go to what's that called?
Glossary or table of contents?
Yeah, table of contents. I'm going to go to
Yeah.
the table of contents, and I want
Yeah.
to see what recipe was it.
You see that it is a recipe for Paul's take on an American pie.
Oh my god. What's her face made an American pie? Okay, all right, I'll remember that. Okay. I think I've done my thing here. If I heard something outside, I'm going to go outside. Start walking towards the tent, see what I see.
The main tent, because you're also outside. There's what's his name? Paul. Paul's trailer is parked basically in line with there's Jane's trailer, Sue's trailer, and Timothy's trailer. And now you see that actually there's a big, huge bus that's kind of pulled up and is just kind of is blocking the trailers in a little bit.
Okay. Well, I'll start because I don't know any different. I'm gonna start walking back towards the tent.
Okay. You come in. I'm sorry, just that 4 was so bad. You come in right as you see Sheriff Dalrymple leading Joyce and Violet back out, like a little bit away from you. So you are in the tent now, and you see what's his name? Scott's body. Scott.
Scott. I didn't. Not my favorite person, but I don't wish a flower death on nobody. Okay. You know what I'm good at? I'm good at talking to people. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to knock on the trailer of Jane. I'm going to talk to Jane.
Mm-hmm. Okay, okay. Perfect. She answers the door almost immediately. Oh, it's you. Loretta, was it?
Oh my God. Do you not know what's going on, Jane? There's like dead bodies all over the place. Have you just been in here the whole time?
Is there? I mean, I heard about Paul, of course.
And you're just hanging out in the trailer, just like you thought that was just a safe place to be? You didn't,
I'm sorry. Was there somewhere I was supposed to be?
I don't know. I'm walking around. I'm looking for clues. I just thought maybe you were a woman that also wanted to, have a little more information. Whatever. No judgments. I'm here to listen. No judgments. Anyway, Scott's dead too. What are you two up to?
Okay, make a meddling roll with presence, please. So she's not going to let you into her trailer, but you can get a peek over her shoulder. I want you to tell me something that you think catches Loretta's eye in her trailer. It's not necessarily clue-wise, just what do you think? Set Jane's vibe for us.
I see discarded, gross-looking sweatpants that clearly she wears in between takes or something, but I would never, oh God. So yeah, okay. I see that. I try not to make a face when I see it.
Yeah. She goes, well, I certainly didn't have anything to do with it if Scott... Oh, gosh. If Scott is dead, you said.
Yeah, I mean, the same sort of thing. Just I don't know if you heard. There's flour everywhere, and I guess that's about it. Just flour.
And I certainly shan't be baking tonight then. And she closes the door on you. And you hear the click of the lock.
Think someone's a kindred spirit. Yeah, that's okay. Well, I'm worried about my friends. Did I see that they were going towards the bus?
Yeah. We can cut. Yeah, let's cut forward to you. You go into the trailer. The two of you are in there with Donna and also Melanie. And the sheriff escorted you, but he didn't lock the door, and he's not there anymore. So you guys can kind of do what you want.
These are all these murders.
Right. There's a reason you guys are solving the mysteries and not the police. But we'll say that Loretta kind of walks up to you after you've finally calmed Donna down again.
Oh my God. Can I talk to you two? Sorry, no offense, Melanie. We just got this book club, and we just sometimes, this just reminded me of something. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
I know about the book club. Yeah, you ladies have fun. Have fun.
All right. So I'm going to pull you guys over, and I'm just going to tell you the recipe that was missing was for an apple pie. I also remember that Melanie, apple pie, and he's I'm just saying.
Oh, that's
Okay,
interesting.
so something about an apple pie, and this was when you say the gamekeeper, when you say Paul's cookbook, you don't just mean a cookbook he owned, you mean one of his, like he wrote it.
Correct. He wrote it. Yeah.
Apple pie. All right, so what have we got? We've got a missing recipe for apple pie and the only nice jewelry in the jewelry box. So either someone went in there looking for nice jewelry and happened upon the one pair that was worth something, seems far-fetched, and also decided to steal a recipe, or somehow the earrings, the apple pie, Paul, and what's his name, Scott, are all connected to one person.
And that person has flour?
Oh boy, it's, that's not just flour. I haven't tried, it's been a long time, and I don't know if I'm up for it anymore, I gotta tell ya.
Violet, are you okay? You're like swaying back and forth a little bit.
I am
Your pupils
fantastic,
are huge.
but I don't think I'm gonna be fantastic for a while.
By fantastic, do you mean like fantastic
So
or like especially fantastic?
Oh, there's something in the flour. I didn't realize I didn't say that part out loud. Somebody dosed the flour and is using it to either... I didn't see a wound on either of them. Did you?
No. I mean, I tried to get close to Scott, but then, Sheriff Dalrymple came in and suddenly I was a suspect. And that's, I just don't really know how to handle that.
Have you never been a murder suspect before?
No, it's my first time. It's kind of exciting.
Congratulations!
Thank you so much. Yeah. I don't
first
know
time.
if I should start acting more mysterious or what, but no, this is a serious situation. We should probably...
I'll tell you some stories sometime. Hey, gamekeeper, was Scott tied up like Paul was, or no?
No.
Okay.
He was not. He was, because he was holding the baking tray that had like some flour on it.
He was holding a baking tray with some flour on it.
Yeah, and I think you would have for sure seen that he had like a little station kind of set up.
Oh, like
What
he
if
was
Scott
practicing
was-
or something.
That could have been accidental.
Maybe.
Accidentally dosed himself.
Oh. Yes. Do you think all of the flour is dosed? Should we be testing all of the flour? Because what if some of us get a little bit of the flour on us and then we, end up on the ground?
As you say that, Melanie comes back up to you guys and she goes, "I'm so sorry to interrupt, but I just heard you say that the flour is dosed? What does that mean? Dosed with what? Are you guys trying to cheat, or?"
Oh, no, darling, we're just saying that, like, dose is, like, local, like a local term for, like, tablespoon or a cup. We're just saying, like,
Is it?
flour was not, like, properly dosed for some of our pies, which is maybe why we didn't do as well,
Yeah.
That's true.
Had a
you
soggy
didn't.
bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Yours was very good, though. You was
Thank
that
you.
recipe?
Yeah. Yeah, it's my
really?
own recipe.
That's very
Yeah, well,
interesting.
hand it down from the family. I come from a family of bakers,
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Your grandma. What was her name? Anne-Marie.
Marie Blair, yeah. Yeah.
Marie Blair.
She had Marie's Treats. Yeah, she had a bakery here in town.
I never met her because I only moved here, maybe like 15 years ago, but I've heard of her.
Yeah. What did happen to that bakery, Melanie? What happened there? It's not around anymore, is it?
You can all, let's see, whoever wants to can make a meddling move with presence.
I've got decent presence. Okay, that is an 8.
Okay. She goes, I mean, you were here when it happened. you know,
You know how forgetful I am in my old age.
Right. The Sweet Sensations Bakery came in and bought him out. Ran him out of business. You guys know that the Sweet Sensations Bakery is Paul's chain. She goes, yeah, it was my grandma's pride and joy, my mom's pride and joy after that, and here I am. I gotta make my name from scratch again.
Can I just ask if, like, there's this history with Paul and, like, his business being so awful to your grandma, why are you on his show?
Well, like I said, I gotta remake a name for myself. How else am I gonna get enough business or get enough recognition to be able to open my own business again? I gotta win the show.
The show must be really important to you.
Of course it is. Yeah, this is like, without Paul on it, like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Even winning kind of doesn't feel quite like winning anymore. You guys know that the win comes like with a pretty good like cash prize too, you know? And I don't know, I work at a local coffee shop, you know, I don't make a lot of money, so I really needed this money to open my shop, so I don't know what I'm gonna do now. I mean, they said the show's still going on, so presumably, you know, the prize is still gonna be a thing.
With one less competitor, though, right?
What do you mean?
You didn't hear?
What?
Apparently, Scott is also no longer with us.
What? Honestly, though, it sucked that he was here.
Right?
Like, you know what? There's this, I mean, you ladies must be fans of the show, right?
Oh, absolutely.
There was like this whole kind of fan theory. I was on the Jolly Good Baking Show Reddit. There was a whole fan theory that Scott and Paul had something going on.
You mean like romantic something going on?
Yeah, I mean like romantically.
Oh, I'm modern. I'm right.
Yeah, but so...
My nephews have shown me the TikToks and taught me how to be woke. I know it. Cool. Good for them, maybe.
Well, I mean, I don't know, but that's what everybody was saying. That's why... I don't know if you saw that look on his face when he said that Scott's Bake had a soggy bottom. I don't know.
Oh, does that mean...
I don't know. It looked a little suspicious to me. So, I mean, I don't know. You know, just kind of something I was noticing. I was, you know, I'm trying to keep an eye out, making sure that, especially with him here, that it's not, like, rigged for him to win. So, I guess now it for sure isn't. I mean, you know, terrible. So sad.
Melanie, do you think Paul knew about your connection through family?
I don't see any reason why he would. I mean, I don't know. His bakery is just all over the place. It's not...
Sure.
I'm sure he doesn't, like, personally make the decisions of where they go. Although maybe he does. What do I know? Yeah.
Well, he certainly doesn't anymore, does he?
That's true.
You're bad.
Yeah, I like you, Violet.
I like you too.
Yeah, maybe I'll join your guys' book club after all this is done.
That'd be great. You know, we should get going. You know, I really think Donna could use a friend right now. Maybe you could sit down and have a cup of tea with her or something.
Yeah.
I guess so. I don't know. Oh, she's like got some scrapbooking stuff. Maybe I'll go like make something. Oh, you know what? I'm going to practice my design for my cake tomorrow. That's what I'm going to do.
Ladies, how about we all go get some fresh air and we chat about some stuff? About the most recent book?
Yeah. It's a great idea. Let's get some air.
Okay, good. When we step outside, can I pull you two aside and bring out my emergency conspiracy scrapbook? So we can start just sort of like piecing together some clues. Not a full-blown theory phase, but just so, you know, getting some ideas out.
As you're flipping to an empty page somewhere farther back in the book, you flip through other pages, and I'm like, oh, remember that murder?
Oh,
That was our first murder.
that's really nice.
Of us.
That one was so fun. That was when you had your first murder when you were suspected for the first time.
Yeah.
Oh, that was fun.
So young.
But I'm going to open up a new page, and I'm going to start taking out some like stickers and crimping shears and putting things together. I'm like, I found it really interesting that she said that Scott and Paul were rumored to have some sort of romantic entanglement. And I was wondering, we never had an official autopsy, and we never saw any official wounds. What if this is some sort of a star-crossed lovers situation where they have faked their own death so that they can run away and be together?
Oh, how romantic.
Because we don't know what this flower is. Maybe it's something that makes you look like you're dead when you're not.
Romeo and Romeo. Are you kidding?
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
So, maybe keep an eye out for disappearing bodies.
I was gonna say, yeah, we should keep an eye out for that. Speaking of, we could just do a quick little walk by of the main tent, see if Scott's body is still there. And, we haven't run into Heath yet. And I'd just love to get his take on all of this.
No, yes, the producer, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Also the host.
Also the hosts. Yeah, Sue and Timothy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. But as you were saying, Joyce, should let's storyboard this out.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so what do we know so far? We know the flower is laced with something. Paul was tied up with a red paracord. There were stolen diamond bread earrings, which were a token of affection for Paul's wife. There was a cookbook with a page torn out for his American pie. And it's rumored that Scott and Paul had a romantic interest. So I'm just going to put a bunch of heart stickers over here. And I'm going to take my red yarn and I'm going to connect it over here where we've got some bread stickers. I'm going to put some little tacks on the back to make them look like earrings. And oh my goodness, this is precious. Okay.
This is your best work
other
yet,
clues that we
Joyce.
want to think about.
Well, is it confusing that you're using the red yarn when we also have to talk about the red cord? How can you differentiate?
You're absolutely right. Okay, hold on. She's going to unwind that, take out a yellow cord to be the connecting one, and use the scrap of the red yarn to sort of bind it around two little peace sign hand stickers to show that Paul was tied up with the red paracord.
All right, now that's a good list of clues. Should we talk a bit about suspects and potential motivations?
Yeah.
Where are you guys doing all of this? Because you left the tour bus.
Is my trailer nearby?
Yeah. If you had wanted, you said that you had driven it here, right?
It is also my vehicle, so let's pop into my trailer. I'm just hesitant to go somewhere where we don't have eyes on the trailer where the suspects are, the main tent, so maybe we can just keep an eye out the window.
Okay. So as you all walk up to Violet's trailer, Violet, you're leading the way, so I'm going to ask you. It's going to be another night move. What are you afraid of as you open your trailer door?
I suppose worst case scenario is that there's been a murder inside my trailer? A more realistic fear is we just keep finding bodies. I suppose a more realistic fear is that the trailer has been ransacked. I'm also a little worried that if the sheriff sees us leaving the trailer where he left us, that could make us stronger suspects. Pick one.
Also, we'll go with your trailer has been ransacked. And the way it's going to be worse is that there will be another victim in your trailer.
Sure. Oh man, how can I work any of these cozy place items into this and make it relevant? My awning that I did when I parked set up my awning, so I've taken up a solid 3 spaces in this parking lot. And there are quite a few wind chimes hanging off this awning. As I walk up, I'd like to just pause a moment and see if anything seems in motion, if any of my sun catchers or wind chimes or whirligigs are more disturbed than they would be by the gentle.
Totally. Yeah. Okay. Take advantage.
That's a 6, a 2, and a 4. So 6 and 4 is 10.
Nice.
Ooh, okay, great. None of the things we described happen. So you open the door to your trailer, and you're like fully ready to see all of your precious like tarot cards strewn everywhere, all of your crystals pell-mell around the floor. Probably Jane Leaf's body like fully like garroted or spread-eagled across the floor. Yeah, crucified. You have all of these horrible images flashing through your head. And you open the door, and your trailer is as you left it.
Oh, that's a relief. I really should put a lock on that door. Now, everyone in?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go in and just start guzzling water. Just how much? Let's watch this. Everyone have a seat. I'm going to make sure I'm facing a window.
Well, I mean, my first suspect was going to be Scott, but obviously gone. I mean, list of suspects. If we go from the faked their own death to be together angle, then the suspects would be Paul and Scott. However, if we want to go classic murder, ladies, you put forth your suspects.
Well, for doing classic, I mean, obviously Melanie has absolute reason to kill Paul. Although I don't know why she'd kill Scott. I mean, yeah, he sucks, but like, what did he ever do to her?
But I mean, you mentioned, or one of you mentioned earlier that it could be that Scott's was an accident because there was maybe leftover flour somewhere.
Either he accidentally dosed himself, or he could have seen something. Perhaps she stumbled upon him in the tent, and threw the flour in his face.
Well, who else? I mean, we haven't talked to the co-host yet, or the co-judge yet.
I talked to her, and I didn't tell you. Okay, I'm not one for gossip, but oh my god. When I looked over her shoulder, there were the most trashy, disgusting sweatpants on the couch. And I'm all for a person relaxing in their own time, but I don't think she's the person she is.
Interesting.
And this was Jane?
Yes. I talked to her first after I saw you guys being led to the trailer or the bus or whatever. And I just thought maybe just see how she was doing, because I thought we were like kindred spirits. Certainly not now.
Yes, she does seem unfriendly, but that's not much of a motive. Doesn't mean she doesn't have one. I just don't know what it is yet.
Maybe someone saw her in her sweatpants.
Well, not Melanie. Donna was saying that there was all sorts of complications in and around the renewal of Paul's contract.
Oh, yeah.
That he was, so maybe there was some sort of pay disparity or something that was causing arguments internally. Actually, the producer might be a good person to talk to about that.
Yes.
Well, that's super smart.
I do think we have to consider Donna as a suspect, though. I mean, if she was perhaps looking to continue enjoying the high life, more diamonds, a little less cubic zirconium, perhaps his contract was falling through, and she did seem to feel his tactics for I'm blanking on a word. What's the word?
Negotiating. His negotiation
tactics were a bit heavy-handed. She might have, perhaps it fell apart, and she was bitter that he wouldn't be getting that lucrative contract anymore. Maybe his life insurance is worth more.
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
Who else is around? Or did you have another one for Donna there, Violet?
Not much of a motive, but she would know that there were diamond earrings in the jewelry box and that the other jewelry isn't worth taking. So perhaps she stole her own earrings as a way to make it look like a robbery. She did a terrible job. But
I found it interesting that despite the fact that her husband was there dead on the floor, that the first thing she thought to do was to go and check and see if she had been robbed of her earrings.
I don't know. I'm going to defend her there. I mean, I don't know much in that trailer. And from what I saw, she doesn't have a great collection of jewelry. So, like, I don't know. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying maybe it's not as strong.
You can see how she might have, that might have been
I could relate.
Order of priorities. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's also odd to me that she only owned one pair of really valuable earrings. Paul has been doing well for quite a while now. You'd think he'd have bought her another at some point.
Gamekeeper, do we know how long they've been married?
Mm-hmm. Make a meddling move with reason. Yeah, 2d6.
Okay, so that's 2d6 plus 1.
Okay.
That is a 10.
Oh, amazing. Okay. Yeah. So you know that they have been married for a very long time, since they were both much younger. I think you remember reading kind of like a scandal piece associated with Paul, in which he had seemingly, allegedly, intentionally shattered a Britty award. Britty, it's like an award, like an Emmy, but a Britty, that like did not go over super well publicly, that Jane was on the record as having criticized him for, because they won that award for the Jolly Good British baking show.
And so when you say he shattered it like in anger?
Yes.
Destroyed it?
Yeah.
Like at home or publicly?
Publicly.
And was this recent or was this some time ago?
It would have been relatively recently. A year ago, after the last award cycle. I think you know that it's there's the Reddit threads for this as well, of talking about his wardrobe and stuff like that, how he's been getting fancier and fancier denim shirts. He basically wears head to toe denim, but the snaps have gotten snappier, pearl to rhinestone to a little bit of embellishment or embossment on the pockets. Most recently there was a little thread about him wearing these ridiculous rhinestone heeled cowboy boots.
So knowing all that, it's really curious to think that he maybe spent all of this money on his own wardrobe, but only ever bought his wife one pair of diamond bred earrings.
Oh, look at you. Yeah, that's great. That's great insight.
Something that you might do if you didn't truly love your wife and instead loved a former contestant of the show a lot more. Maybe.
Romeo and Romeo. No. Well, should we go talk to the other, the host?
Yes, I think that's a great idea.
Think we should also speak with Heath, the producer.
Mm-hmm. We all stay
Well, let's go back out there and see who else is dead.
As we walk out, can I just say that Loretta's eyes get really big right after Joyce says we ended up being murder suspects, and she just has this private moment of,
oh, I guess you didn't know about that.
I think in a couple, but I'm just considering it. I don't think it's what's happening. But
let's go to Sue's trailer. Loretta is taking the lead here. She knocks on the door, and Sue opens the door, and you can immediately see that Timothy is also in the trailer. Yeah, so Sue opens the door and goes, "All right, love. What's up?"
Oh, Sue, do you not know what's been going on around here? You seem very relaxed, and I would not be relaxed if I knew what was going on around here.
Well, I mean, right, Paul getting offed is not really.
Okay, so you do know a little bit. You know a little bit about what's going on. Yeah. Okay.
Well, we all know about Paul.
I don't know what people have been told. I haven't seen you since before. It doesn't matter. Anyway, okay, so I just want to talk, see how you're doing. I see Tim's here too. How you guys doing? Has the sheriff come by to talk to you or anything? Have you heard any noises? We're just, wandering around. I just wanted to know, if you'd heard anything or whatever, just to check on you. Really, no, I'm just here to check on you. But also, things have affected your mood, I'm also curious to hear about that.
So let's make that meddling move. And remind me what your maven move is, right? It's something about like impressing.
God. Let's
right?
totally use that right now. Okay, yeah, before I came up, I fixed, this is actually relevant because we took that break and I did fix this. Oh, it's still there a bit, but I fixed a bump in my hair. Okay, so Sonny Crockett is the name of my meddling move. And, you know, for someone that's been running around, for someone that's been baking all day, like there is not a hair out of place. My nails, no flour, no like chocolate bits in them. I am so on top of it. So I would like to use that for my advantage.
Yeah.
So I'm going to bring out this third die. Let's roll. Okay. Just want to know how you're doing. What's affecting your mood? 2 highest, it's going to be a 7.
She goes, oh, wait, is that the latest from Dior?
Oh, you know, you'd think, but like I saw it on QVC and I was like, I could do that better. I could do it better. So I got some gems and I made these myself.
No, you made those. Oh my God, come in, babes, come in.
Hey, my friends, can we all just have a little powwow? Maybe some tea?
Right.
All right,
We're all friends here.
Hi, Tim. Nice to see you.
He's like tall, skinny, gothy, kind of dour.
You remind me of my son.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Why? I'm so sorry for you.
Oh, well, you know, he got into all that type of music. He's got all the eyeliner, all of the clothes and the dark dyed hair. But you know, I don't mind when it came to making his little patchwork vest for his concerts. We made it a little bit of a bonding activity. I taught him how to stitch. So, yeah, it was quite fun.
Well, having a mother who loves you must be really nice for him.
Oh, well, if you'd like, while we're all here, I have this emergency craft supply kit. While we're talking about all this and processing our feeling, you and I could make a patch vest for you. I could teach you some hand sewing.
Oh, wait. I would actually really like that.
Really? Oh my gosh. I can't believe I'm doing this. I can't believe that I'm teaching Timothy how to sew.
All right, give me a meddling move with presents.
Great. Okay, well, it's a 5.
You do teach him how to sew. He just like gets hyper fixated on doing it and like just fully kind of zones everybody out. So you're like kind of maybe trying to pepper him with some questions and stuff like that. He's like, yeah. And how do you do this stitch again? And it's like very focused.
You know what, Sue, how are you doing? And how are you feeling about everything?
Right, well, I'm really torn up, babes. I don't know about you all, but this is some real shit going on, if you ask me. I don't know.
Yeah.
What, you all have heard something else? Or something beyond Paul?
Donna's very sad.
Yeah, what's going on with her? She's... I mean, I've never liked her.
Really?
So.
You haven't? Why not?
I mean, she did that old bit on the Scouse Wives of Liverpool. Not a great look for Liverpool, if you ask me. Never went in for that type of television myself.
But how did you think she was in terms of being a partner for Paul? Do you think that they were well matched, or?
In a way, right? They're both gaudy and kind of full of themselves.
I heard that there was some contract troubles recently with Paul, Yeah,
there sure were. He was willing to risk all of our jobs just so he could have his stupid boots or whatever.
How are his boots impacting your jobs?
Oh, that's what he was demanding in the contract. He wanted to televise his new product or something, whatever his boots were supposed to be. I don't know. I thought it was stupid. He asked me if I would film a little advert for him. I said no.
Paul released his own line of boots?
Well, not yet, I don't think, because he was trying to negotiate the airtime. That's what he told me anyway. I don't know. That's why all of our contracts are still up in the air. Well, maybe now we'll be able to sign them.
Do you feel, would Jane carry the whole show in terms of judging, or would they replace that position?
Well, there was some talk of replacement. Violet, give me a meddling move with presents.
I have to open my mouth. I don't have presents.
That's okay.
7?
We love those 7s. Well, I know I'm the newest on the show, but I was kind of maybe thinking maybe I might throw my hat in any sort of ring that might come up. I don't know.
Ooh, you'd be a wonderful judge.
Thank you. I agree. I may not have the baking knowledge, but I certainly have the taste buds.
It's all
And
presents.
that's really
isn't
all
it?
that matters anyway, right? It's really all that matters.
We're here to make TV.
Right. And at the end of the day, who cares what it looks like, really? It's all about what it tastes, if you ask me. Anyway.
Loretta just sort of like rolls her eyes at that, but doesn't say anything.
I'm gonna try to get between Sue's eyeline and Laura. Be like, oh yes, absolutely, yes. It is all about the taste.
I think as you're doing that, and you guys are kind of like all like 5 people is too many for a trailer, but Violet, the way you're kind of smushed in the back, I think you kind of look over to a countertop that's like behind you, and you see a large, I mean, presumably the rest of the papers underneath this, but you see a stack of papers, and the top one, or like a stack of receipts rather, and the top one is like, has like a $3,000 charge on it.
For what?
It doesn't say. It's like a jewelry store.
I didn't say any of that out
Was
loud.
this a jewelry
Right.
store, or was this like a reseller sort of thing?
It doesn't have any info on it. It's like
Okay.
a small receipt. You see a big number, and kind of through that top one, you can see that the next one underneath is a little bit longer, but it also has like a number in the thousands on it.
While I'm looking at big stacks of papers, if I just take a glance around, does there happen to be anything with like a torn edge? Maybe cookbook sized?
With a 7, no.
Yeah.
You got your clue. So you guys are having this conversation, and as the complication from your 7, you guys hear a knock on the door of the trailer as well, and Sheriff Dalrymple opens the door, and he goes, pardon me, Sue, I just wanted... Oh. Mavens. Eh? What are you all doing in here?
Oh,
Thought
hello,
I asked
Sheriff.
you to stay in the tour bus.
Yes, you did ask us to stay with the trailers, so we thought we'd just make our way around to everyone within the trailers, just like you asked, and just check in with all of them and see how everyone's doing.
Okay, maybe I wasn't specific enough. I'm gonna need you to stay inside the tour bus. Inside.
Which one is the tour bus again? Maybe you can
The
show
really
me.
big one. The really big one, Violet. The really big one.
All right, well, I'll look for the big one.
Great. Thank you. Ladies. It's literally 5 feet away. Do I have to escort you? Or will you see yourselves over there?
How much is 5 feet?
Truly astounding. How have you all solved these mysteries before? Let's go. And he ushers you out and walks you to the top of the tour bus again. Again, does
you so
not lock
much.
the door and goes away. You know now, presumably he's in Sue's trailer.
Great. Well, while he's in there, let's make our way somewhere else.
Yep, that sounds good to me.
I was going to say, we know that Tim is in Sue's trailer, so maybe we go look at Tim's trailer while he's not in there.
Oh, that's a good idea.
We might want to like put
That's
one of
very
us at
smart,
watch
Loretta.
or something, or like.
Wait, hold on. I've got an idea. I would like to use my Maven move of
Okay.
Angus MacGyver to.
Okay.
My idea is, well, technically, I need the other players to name 3 objects that I can find in the environment of the tour bus. But I do have a specific idea of what I want to MacGyver. I was trying to make something that would make it appear as though the 3 of us are just asleep in the bunks.
Okay. Great. All right, so let's give you 3 things now. Let's see, on a tour bus, where did they get this tour bus from? What a question. There's some band who's local to Brindlewood Bay. And because of that, I'm going to say that they have a huge pile of band t-shirts, like merch. There's just boxes of band merch everywhere. They are the Brindlewood, they're the briny, I don't know, we'll workshop it, doesn't matter. There's some local band, and there's a big stack of like, there's CDs, t-shirts, LPs, all that kind of stuff. Okay? That's my
They're
thing.
the picklebacks. They're pickleback. A pickleback is like a shot of pickle brine after a shot of whiskey.
Yeah.
Like
That's their
briny,
name.
like,
It's
and
pickleback.
Yeah.
There's big
there.
foam there's big foam pickles.
No.
There's
Perfect.
Yeah, you named them. I get to say that there's big foam pickles.
This is a tour bus for a band. There's a bunch of merch. Are there also some hair pieces and makeup and that sort of thing? Yeah.
Sure.
Including some wigs, so that could be styled differently. You might be able to tuck under something like a pillow. Okay. So there's a whole there's a hair and makeup
station. Yeah.
Okay, and not to tell you what you're doing, but I'm immediately thinking of Ferris Bueller's Day Off. So I'm going to say there are some recorders, for if they get the idea for a song and they just want to record it and play it back.
Amazing.
There's one of those.
100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think immediately, obviously, I am stuffing the t-shirts with the foam pickles to make sort of body mass shapes that go underneath, in the little bunk cubbies. I've got
what a sentence.
Some of the wigs are just poking out over top of the blankets. I'm getting maybe Loretta's help to style her hair just so, and then I'm using the playback recorder to just record us all sort of making sleeping noises. So whatever that would sound like for all of you, I think that Joyce is probably a sleep talker. So she's just doing little mumbles oh my gosh, no, wait. No, you get the crimping shears. And so on and so forth. What are the sleeping noises of the other 2 that I'm recording?
For as put together and as much as I care about how people perceive me, the one time I can't control that is at night. So I am full just the ugliest snores you've ever heard.
Violet is a terrible insomniac, and so she spends most of the night doing meditations and breathing exercises to help her fall asleep. So she's just going to record some. It aligns the chakras.
Mm-hmm.
Is that how meditative breathing is supposed to go?
Sounds
Look, I said this character was pseudo-spiritual, all right? So for her, this is what meditative breathing is. Meditative breathing is.
Mm-hmm.
However,
she accidentally took a Lamaze class and is using
Yes.
Yeah.
She got confused.
Awesome, because this is so good. I think Donna and Melanie, after you guys have cased this whole bus, they're like, oh my god, the wigs, and are just doing play makeup and having a fun time. So there's
should we put on a disguise so we can go out?
Oh my god, please.
So if Sheriff Dalrymple sees us, he didn't see us.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to. I think, actually, if you say that, Donna goes, well, actually, I want to do that too. I want to leave the tour bus. Wait, you all have been leaving the tour bus? The sheriff told us to stay here.
Sheriff Dalrymple doesn't know what he's talking about. He gets the three of us to solve most of his cases.
You don't say. Great. And she takes a wig, and she's got like bleach blonde hair, and she pulls a brown wig over her hair and follows you guys out.
Not a terrible idea for Donna to be nearby us.
Mm-hmm.
We all want to keep each other in our line of sight for safety.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, yeah. Safety.
Where are you guys going?
Let's go to Timothy's. Let's go to Timothy's trailer.
Okay. So let's make a night move here, please. Who's leading the way to Timothy's trailer? You can roll it and tell me what you're afraid of. You're gonna do it, Joyce.
What would I be afraid of? We're in disguise. Yes. We're going to Timothy's trailer. I'm afraid that if Timothy catches us in his trailer, that it will break the maternal trust that I have worked to build up with him, as a sort of maternal, a substitute maternal figure that has taught him how to sew. So yeah, I'm worried about breaking that trust and giving him more reason to not trust maternal figures in his life.
Okay, that's a really good one. How do I make that worse? No, actually, here's how we're going to make it worse. If you fail this roll, Timothy will come and discover you. And also, he will be like, why the fuck were you in here? And his trust will be broken. But you will also have been interacted with by a shadowy, dark, scary figure who's going to, like, apprehend you, basically. Like, knock you out and tie you up in the trailer.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Here we go. Please be good. It's a 7. We love a 7.
Yeah, okay. So you open the door. Nobody locks their trailers. Nothing untoward happens. You do turn around and see that Donna is gone. Like, she was at the back of the group, and as you were like, do I open the door? Or like, you know, just having this flash of like, oh, is Timothy not going to trust me in a maternal sense anymore? She has disappeared.
Okay.
Well,
but you can go into Timothy's trailer. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, let's take a look around, see if we can find anything. What does the inside of his trailer look like?
Great question. His trailer is very moody, very dark. Mm-hmm. There is a like cassette player playing a Cure cassette. There are like band posters on the wall, an obelisk in one corner. Yeah, it's dark, it's moody, it's emo. There's like eyeliner pencils kind of strewn all around near a mirror.
Everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like his version of chapstick. It's just eyeliner everywhere. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's got like a car eyeliner and
Yeah, exactly. One in every jacket.
I want to look through whatever wardrobe he has in here, and like to see if any of it has a little bit of flour on it.
That's where I was going to.
Oh,
okay. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. No, make your meddling move with reason.
Okay. 8.
Okay. You look through his closet. You don't see any like conspicuous flower stains, but he's also been wearing the same sweater all day. And as you like kind of open the closet and start to sift through, I'm going to say that a couple of moths fly out and like come at you.
Oh God.
Yeah. And I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think a person like Loretta would very much disdain moths and would have mothballs to keep her precious clothing safe.
I've never heard of a mothball. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. I want to give you like a frazzled or like a distraught kind of condition, maybe distressed, specifically about clothing.
Distressed. Oh, you think the fucking sweatpants would have done it, but it's nothing compared to this.
I think as you're looking through like these sweaters, your hand goes into a jacket pocket, and you see that there is a written letter basically asking for financial help. It's not addressed to anyone, but it's signed Tim. Basically being like, hey, like the show is not going great for me right now. I have a few really big like expenses that I need covered. Is there any way you could front me like 20 grand? Like a pretty large sum of money.
All right, so he wrote this letter, but he hadn't yet delivered it. I can assume. So it's not
God,
like
I hope that this wasn't going to his mother.
Oh dear. Well, I was thinking, if Paul is doing well financially, perhaps he would have asked Paul, and if Paul says no, then he has a reason to kill Paul. But if he hadn't yet delivered the letter, then we can assume that's not the motive. Mm-hmm. Unless he tried to give it to Paul and Paul gave it back and said no, which somehow feels worse.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, he wouldn't have necessarily addressed it if it was one that wasn't going in the mail, right?
Right. If he just planned to,
just hand it to someone or slip it to somebody.
Right, leave it in his trailer. I'd like to look around and see, because I feel like the earrings are easily tied to, his wife or something like that. But that page in the cookbook, that really feels like a missing, that has to mean something. So I'd love to find that. I guess I'll just look around and see if there's or the earrings. I'll look for the earrings or cookbook page.
Okay, so you're looking for traces of like clues that you've already kind of discovered. All right, make your meddling move with reason. And I'm going to say you're still fucked up. Hold on. I'm going to say you're still fucked up, so you have disadvantage. You're still intoxicated.
3, 2, and 5, so it's 5.
Okay, got it. So with a 5, I think you go and start rifling under Timothy's bed. You're like looking under everything. You're looking in everything. You're like, where could a piece of paper be? Under the bed seems as good a place as any. And I think you find a box of like sex toys. You find like a ball gag.
I didn't need to know.
Yeah.
You
find handcuffs. There's some lacy stuff in there. There's some rope in there. There's some feathery stuff in there.
Roll back. What's the rope look like? What, is it red?
Yeah.
It doesn't look like what Paul was tied up with?
Yes.
No, I think
it does.
The intricately braided part was the knot itself, not the rope. Sorry.
Oh, that changes things. This is interesting. Wow, it went from I wish I'd never seen this to this is very valuable so quickly.
Well, I mean, if he's into this sort of stuff, it could stand to reason that he is familiar with how to, he has the tools and knows how to use them, sort of thing.
Oh, yeah. You're right. Because
the fact that Paul was tied up really confused me from the start, because it seems like that drug, whatever it is, incapacitated. Who's the other dead guy? Scott? It incapacitated Scott seemingly very quickly. So why was Paul tied up?
This could be a Romeo Mercutio situation.
More about that.
Like, Mercutio, because Mercutio's the best friend of Romeo, and like maybe they were more than just friends, and then like Romeo finds his other Romeo, and Mercutio gets a little jealous, and that's like a close
right. And his Romeo is not going to help him with his bills because he's too busy with his other Romeo, and he he spurns him. Oh my gosh.
Oh, it's so romantic and horrible. I love it.
Mm-hmm. Can I take a look around? I guess my meddling would be looking around for any other sort of anything that would be connected to Paul specifically in here so any like correspondences, maybe if there's a phone and I can find like text messages or something.
Sure.
So that's just straight meddling.
Yep. And use reason.
Use reason. Okay, so that is an 8. One better than 7.
Incredible. Okay.
Hey, we're getting better.
Things we're looking up.
How have we ever solved anything?
I think you start looking through the kitchen, because Paul does. He's a baker, right? So you're looking through the kitchen, and you find a chef's knife that has like a monogram PR on the handle. And you know that in the judge's tent, they each have like a little bit of stuff to like decorate it for each of the judges, and that there is a knife set. Paul has a knife set in the judge's tent.
Maybe
That's high risk.
was planning to murder Paul with his own knife because he was leaving him for Scott, but Paul knew this because they had a spat over the finances, and then Paul and Scott decided to fake their own deaths. Maybe. With the poison. But it was real poison, maybe. I don't know. We don't know.
Maybe he found out they were going to pretend to poison each other, so he replaced the fake poison with real poison.
And he actually, it was a real poisoning. That's good.
Wow.
That makes him more of like the Paris, because like he was going to marry one of the Romeos, but then the Romeo and the Romeo, sorry, I know a lot about Shakespeare.
One of the Romeos.
So Paris was like, no, everybody's just going to die. Oh, this is good.
mean, that seems airtight to me.
Yeah.
I mean, the American pie recipe torn out of the cookbook, that feels like, what's her name, Melanie?
Melanie.
Mm-hmm.
That suggests her to me.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she felt like that recipe was like a ripoff of her grandmother's recipe.
And maybe she's going to take it?
Well, maybe she's just, Paul has no real respect for American cuisine and certainly had no respect for Melanie's family business. And, and then he makes his version of an American pie as if he can do it better, and he puts it in his own cookbook.
But why rip out the page from a cookbook if it's published and you could just find it somewhere? That's
true.
It was a moment of passion? Maybe this is a Romeo, Mercutio, Juliet situation.
/ Paris / Juliet.
Yeah. I have an idea.
What?
Melanie, we've established, right, it is unlikely Paul knew Melanie's family's connection to him.
Right.
It's unlikely he had any idea. What if she hit on him with the hopes of getting into his trailer? She's like, ooh, I'm going to tie you up. Don't worry about it. It's all for fun. Once he's tied up, she goes into a big tirade. She rips the page out of the book. She's so angry. And just in anger, throws something that happens to be on the counter into his face. There happens to be some flour. She throws it in his face. She doesn't even know it's poison flour. She leaves. Doesn't even know he's dead. His wife comes back. He's tied up and dead. She screams. We know the rest because we were there. And maybe
why
the reason
Scott
flour
die?
was poison.
Yeah, why does the poison also Scott?
I really don't think Scott knew about the poison in the flour. That seems unlikely to me, because he used it to dust a pan and then just keeled over dead. Surely he'd set the stage, somehow. What? So someone else put poison in flour, and it was in... Paul was going to poison Scott. Paul was going to poison Scott. That was who was supposed to die. But then Paul had some poison flour on his own counter. Maybe he did, but he thought it would get out and it would ruin his career, and he was like, I have to end this now. The only way to keep it silent forever is if the only other person who knows is dead.
Oh,
I'm still so high.
Okay. All right. So just to recap. So Paul is planning on murdering Scott because Scott, that, romantic tryst can get out. So he sources the poison flower. But then when he is about to go and poison Scott, or no, he's already put it on his baking station. And so he's got some leftover in his trailer. He goes to his trailer, somehow gets tied up by somebody. Now it is Timothy's rope, however, the recipe page does seem to be Melanie. What if...
3-way.
Oh.
Okay.
It's a conspiracy. Literally everyone is in on it.
What if Paul went to kill Scott to actually be with Timothy? Timothy and he have some sort of entanglement, literally and figuratively, with the rope. But then they hear someone coming. And so Timothy runs away, but Scott is tied up. Enter Melanie. She comes in, tears up the page, throws flour in his face, not knowing it's poison. Paul is dead accident. It's like a Romeo, Mercutio. Also Tybalt, maybe? She's the Tybalt in this situation.
Oh,
With some
absolutely.
family revenge stuff. And so Paul wasn't supposed to die, but Scott was, and Paul was the culprit. Do we think that sounds good?
I mean, does one of us want to do the theorize, or do we think we're
Incorporate.
like-
I'll say,
But
we haven't even spoken to the producer yet, which does feel like an oversight.
Mm-hmm. Right, because we still don't know why the Britty Award was shattered. We also don't know why the earrings were stolen or who has them.
That's true.
Yes, I'd love to find any of these missing things.
So you guys go talk to Heath. He's like kind of sitting on his own, like at that kind of snack station behind the scenes, just kind of like slumped over, stirring a little cup of coffee, even though it's like 10 o'clock at night right now. He's still wearing his like production headset, just pulled down, mic kind of up. He's like a tall, big, balding guy. You guys know that he's a New Yorker who like moved to do TV in Britain. He's generally irritable, as I think probably many producers are, because nothing's ever on time. So yeah, it's actually kind of weird that you find him just kind of sitting and not doing anything, just stirring his cup of coffee with a little wooden stick.
Okay, so I just sort of toddle into the tent, just sort of. Oh, Heath! Oh, goodness, I was so worried. How are you, darling?
I'm fine. What do you want, Violet?
Oh, what do any of us want but answers, really?
Yeah,
did
you're
you
telling
hear?
me. Did I hear what? That my whole show's falling apart? Yeah, I heard.
You must be so worried.
I mean,
And after all the recent troubles as well.
recent troubles. What are you talking about?
See, I'm just going off of what others said. I heard some murmurings, a few things, problems with contracts. That must be very stressful for you in particular.
Huh. Yeah, okay, great. So make the meddling move, add your presence.
I don't have any bonus to presents, but it's
Great.
really good. I got 11.
Holy shit.
Nice.
All right.
Hell yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I think that's the best roll of the night.
Yeah, I
Really.
think so.
You know.
He goes, honestly, I'm glad it's getting out. I'm fucking tired of battling Paul. I mean, I guess I don't have to anymore, but tired of the back and forth with him and the lawyers, and we just want to make the show, you know?
Yes,
So,
sure,
yeah.
you're a businessman. You're just trying to do your job.
Exactly. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know what's gonna happen now. He was the one holding us back and is still now somehow the one holding us back, you know? And now we got Scott. Man, I don't know what's going on my set, you know? There's the bigger problem, but there's the more immediate problem. It's my set. I mean, you already know some stuff. I found this, and he pulls out an electrical cord that like has clearly very intentionally been cut and frayed. I found this over in the judge's tent, right by where Paul was sitting, or would have been sitting. So, something is going on here. Listen, I didn't like the guy. Did I want him dead? No. Did I kill him? Also no. But clearly someone was trying to, and someone succeeded. And I just, did they have a fail-safe? All the electricians are on my team, but my team is all accounted for, Although I guess it doesn't take an electrician to cut a wire, but, a knife. Anybody with knife or crimping scissors might have the means.
Nice. It's a knife.
Honestly, crimping scissors seems like more work than it would be worth. They're not even sure.
Yeah, you're right. I just know you carry them around, I was trying to be funny.
Yeah,
sorry, it's not the time for jokes.
It's very fair. Oh dear, Heath.
Yeah.
Well, there's no reason not to... Remember, this is American television. We like mess. There's no reason not to pivot the show a bit. Just see what you can do with what you've got.
Wait. When you say that, I think his face kind of lights up, and I think he takes you guys over to one of the cameras, and this is your second clue. He is rolling through... Just the cameras were left on for a while, and is rolling through some of the tape, and he gets to a section where nothing is happening, which is weird. Like a couple of people went just off camera, and he's also listening to the audio, and he starts listening and kind of cocks his head and is like, well, maybe you all should take a listen to this. And he shows you, lets you listen to, it sounds like there is a tense conversation between two male voices just off camera.
What are they saying?
They are talking about money. One is asking for money. One is saying, no, I can't. Oh, they would have accents, fuckers.
I was gonna say, are they British?
Yeah. They all have different accents. Yeah, it's Timothy and Paul.
So Timothy did ask for money.
And it's Paul being like, no, I can't do that. My wife would get suspicious. And Timothy goes, why would you even care about that? She's been snogging the producer the whole time. So what do you care what she thinks?
You
and he didn't listen to the whole thing.
Well,
and he goes, what? That sounds pretty bad, huh? Money is a huge motive.
Yes, I try to pivot real quick, change my facial expression. Yeah, Heath, man. Darling, I really think you've got something on your hands. If you just... Maybe we could, when all of this sort of clears over, we could work on it together and we could give you some pointers. I mean, we are mystery enthusiasts. Perhaps we can give you some pointers on how to edit it together to make this season really something very unique. I think it would be
You think we could do a
show.
Yeah, like a jolly good murder mystery. I'm not the writer. We'll workshop the game or the name, All right. Yeah, maybe there's something there.
Yes. Well, you just try to relax, drink your tea. Mavens? I feel like we need to talk.
Yeah, it's coffee.
We should go have our tea in my trailer.
Okay, you guys head back to the trailer. At this point, I would have you make a night roll to see if Sheriff Dalrymple would see you. But because of your, I think, Maven move earlier,
yes,
we're going to say that automatically succeeds. So you get to your trailer, no problem. Yeah, let's sit down. Let's theorize, Maven.
Theorize.
Okay, all right. So do we think that the electrical cord was perhaps something that Timothy did with the knife that he has in his trailer?
Yes, absolutely.
A knife? That makes sense to me. Can we, for my own note-taking purposes, just list off every clue we have?
Oh, sure. Okay.
Sure.
It's a lot. I've got like 17.
So 11, 12, 13. Yeah, so I'll give you 15. And as many of those as you can work in, so you can get a +8 on this roll.
Okay.
I feel like Joyce was up, because I had my theory, and then I feel like Joyce had one that incorporated a lot more clues.
Okay.
I don't know.
Do we
Nothing
want
you
to-
have to do
I
it,
can
Joyce.
get my scrapbook out and I can make a theory right now if we want.
I feel like that's a great idea.
Yes. Oh my
Okay.
God. Let's get those yellow yarns. They help so much.
Yes, I do think it should be perhaps Joyce, because you have the murder board. I would like to propose that we start it as a seance to get everyone in one place.
Yes.
I can
Oh,
pretend I'm going to do a seance, and then, maybe I also do a seance, but, we transition it into a big reveal,
I love
and perhaps
that.
Joyce can lead that.
Okay.
Get my cards.
Don't tell my pastor, okay? Like, this would not go over well, but
So that is how the reveal is going to happen if you succeed on this roll. Okay?
Oh, God.
So I want brass tacks, the theory. Okay?
Okay.
Just list off the clues and how you're explaining them. And then we'll see what the roll tells us.
Okay, so the theory is that Scott and Paul rumored to have a romantic affair. That is true. That is one of our clues.
Got it.
He was also romantically entangled with Timothy.
Got it.
It was sort of a sugar daddy situation where he would give him money, but that dried up. Maybe that's just a fun detail. So he was regularly asking for money and was now not getting it because Paul was trying to get more money in his contract. So that addresses renewal of contract and the footage from earlier and the letter. Then, so what happened was Paul was aware that all of this drama was starting to stir up and could possibly get out, which would hurt his negotiations to get more money for himself. So he decided he needed to get rid of Scott. He used the flour laced with something poisonous, which is a clue, to dust on Scott's pan, and he had brought the extra laced flour back with him to his trailer. So that addresses Baby G with poison. I think also earlier maybe Timothy had a little bit of a fit after their conversation that was recorded, and he took that chef's knife and cut the wire as a threat. And then they go back into the trailer and they start having a conversation. It turns into a heated discussion where things also get a little bit steamy. Paul gets tied up with the pair of them. They hear someone coming. In that moment, Timothy runs away, but before he does, he steals the earrings because he's an opportunist and he takes the money. So he steals the earrings and he brings them back to Sue, and they make a scheme to pawn them and get money for them. The person they heard coming was, in fact, Melanie. Melanie comes in to confront Paul. He is tied up. She yells at him about how he squashed a small business and how he has no respect for, hobby bakers. She takes his cookbook off the shelf, tears out a recipe for American pie, telling him that he lies and he has no right to put an American recipe in his book when he's looks down his nose at all things American. So we got a chef's knife, we got an electrical cord. So
my count is 12.
As she's doing that, for her family bakery, she takes some of the flour off of his trailer counter, and she throws it in his face, and then she walks away in a huff, not knowing that it would also kill him. I believe that gets everything except for Donna's affair with the producer. And publicly shattered Briddy Award. Gets the written letter requesting financial help is in there. Doesn't really address the fact that Sue wants to be the next host and doesn't like Donna.
Right.
But
yeah, my count is 12.
3. Okay, great.
That was
12 out of
beautiful.
15.
Joyce, that was
Incredible.
so good.
So you're gonna roll a meddling move. You have a +5.
Okay.
I
And
don't
you haven't
think
used your crown yet, have you?
I have not.
Okay.
Okay, +5. I got 2 1s.
Oh
No,
but it's
absolutely not.
No.
Can I have an
Such
idea
a good
for
job,
my
and I
crown.
don't have another idea.
No, you've got it.
I have an idea for a crown I could use if you'll allow it.
Well, so on a 7 to 9, okay, it is the correct solution.
Okay, good.
There's just 7 to 9 is always there's a complication.
Okay.
So
Fine.
here is what we're going to do. This is kind of like we're now kind of on the tracks to resolve all of this. So you guys go to sleep, maybe one eye open in Violet's trailer, getting ready for the next day when you know you're supposed to have another competition day. And it's supposed to be a cake bake. So you guys all come out of your trailer, are getting ready for that. Do you still want it to be a seance?
Or do we want to
As
tell
the
it
reveal.
in cake?
Yeah. Or do you want to do it in cake?
I'm happy to, like, if you wanted to hold a seance, I could decorate the cake in a sort of possessed fugue state as we piece together the mystery.
Perfect.
But we should wait until we're on camera. We should wait. Let's coordinate our bakes. We'll coordinate our bakes so each one is a different scene in the story.
I love it. Yeah.
I will, when it's time to present, I will say the spirits are speaking to me, and I have to address them, and I'll address the spirits, and then Joyce, you can be overtaken by the spirits and sort of reveal all.
Am I going to actually be overtaken by a spirit?
It's happened before. I can't lie and say it's not a risk.
Okay, all right. I'm down.
Okay. So who's taking what scene?
Maybe one cake is one murder, another cake is another murder, and the third is the solution?
So Scott should probably be first, right? Because that was the meditated murder, and then we do Paul, because that was the accidental murder.
Yeah. I wonder if maybe the middle one is all of like the money intrigue and blah blah blah, and then the last one is the accidental killing of Paul.
It was money. Paul.
Dora just over there enjoying this.
This is great.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Who wants to do which one?
You know what? Could I do the money portion? Because I feel like, I have a lot of decorations that, like, they may not have actually been expensive, but they're gems. They're shiny. I feel like I could really get across the, like, desire for,
the wealth,
seemingly. Yeah.
Yes, and I'm happy to portray the murders as the first cake.
Okay, good.
Or is that what we decided the first cake was?
Scott's murder is the first cake, I believe.
Scott's murder is the first.
I can portray Scott's murder.
And then I'll do the last one, and I could even maybe, work in some collages of family pictures from Melanie's family business and all that.
You're bringing it all together.
Scrapbook. Yeah. And I'll get maybe some licorice that we can use to connect all of the cakes.
Perfect.
Okay, good.
Okay. So, everybody just roll me 1d6 really quickly.
3.
4.
5.
Ooh, that was
3,
fun.
4, 5. Okay. Perfect. Okay. So, the next day, the shoot begins. Heath gives you a little pep talk about how, things have been a little different. Things are going to be a little different today, but you're just going to keep doing what you've been doing. You're going to try your best. We're here to make a show after all. Don't worry about the judges. Don't worry about anything else. Just worry about your bakes. Your bakes go as planned, everything to plan. You're not even really worried about the cake, right? You all are so focused on your decorations. Yeah, every once in a while, Timothy kind of comes over and like Timothy and Sue come over and like look over your shoulders and are like, what's that supposed to be? This is some really unorthodox decoration you've got. But you guys just demur, like, I'm telling a story. Don't worry about it, basically. And you all complete your cakes. And this is one of the ones where they have you bring your cake to the front to be presented. Oh. Melanie goes first. She has made like 3-tiered chocolate and cherry cake with raspberry framboise. That's a thing. No, the other F one.
You just said raspberry in French.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. It's like a cream. It's a strawberry mousse kind of thing. Raspberry mousse kind of thing. It's great. It's delicious. Whatever. Like ornately decorated, pinks and whites and all of that sort of stuff. And then Joyce, you are the next one called up.
I think I'm gonna say this has been a very difficult weekend for everyone, and I would appreciate if I could have my sisters, my fellow mavens, present with me so that we can just sort of stand in solidarity and sisterhood, because we have decided to create a piece that commemorates our weekend and the relationships that were formed and broken. So I would like to present together.
You see, like, the hosts, Sue and Tim and Jane, all kind of look at Heath and are like, and he just goes, keep going. So they're like, all right, please, by all means. So you all bring up your cakes and start your seance? ?
I will, as we all are walking
tell the story.
To the front, just as I'll make sure I'm kind of the last one to set my cake down, and as I do, the spirits are moving upon this place. Open the cake! And my cake is a bit of a sheet cake, and then the sort of green grass frosting, and then there's a wire frame covered in white fondant to kind of make the tent. And I will pull open the curtain of the tent and reveal the crime scene within. Scott has something to say to me. I cannot be the vessel.
And am I actually being possessed? I guess is the question.
It would be a first, I will say.
It would be a first.
I'm gonna say no.
Cool. All right. So then I just go, oh my goodness, it's me, Scott. And I'm going to tell you the story of how I died. And then Joyce sort of spirals around with her, with just a ton of red licorice that she uses to connect all 3 cakes as she runs through like all of the stuff that's on Violet's cake about Scott's death, then transitions over to Loretta's cake.
Okay, yeah, sure. Yeah, mine's a little more abstract. It's tiered, right? And it's definitely, it's like a mint cake, but it's got a lot of like gold, those edible gold flakes on them. And I've got like sort of a representation of Paul at the top with like different creatures underneath trying to crawl and get to him. You know, like you've got your Tim, and then you've got, you know, your Melanie who's like really upset. But yeah, so that's what my cake looks like, and it fits into your whole narrative.
Mm-hmm. So I weave around all of the, like, just meters and meters of red licorice that's connecting all of these conspiracy board. And then go to my cake. It's got sort of it looks like a family photo album. And it has all of these, like, hyped versions of Melanie's family business and it getting squashed by the mega cake corporation that Paul brought into town. And then shows finally Paul being bound in paracord, which is presented with the red licorice.
Of course.
And the flower being thrown in his face. And Melanie walking out of the door, not realizing that he died as a result of that.
Wow.
And that's everything. My name has been Scott. And now I'm back, and I'm Joyce, and I guess that's what happened.
You can see Heath is like dumbfounded, like slack-jawed. Timothy and Sue are like kind of looking at each other, and Timothy is kind of eyeing like, can I make a run for it? Jane is kind of like takes a second and then goes, well, I've certainly never seen a flippable cake. Let's try them, shall we?
She's still on script.
I love it.
And cuts a slice of each one, tries them in order.
I went with rose water this time, and it's way too much.
She gives you this. She doesn't give notes. She's just trying them. Or very brief notes. She's like, too much rose. What's Loretta's flavor of cake?
It was mint and gold. I mean, gold doesn't have
luxurious, I suppose. Yeah. And she gets to your cake, Joyce. She takes a bite. What are your flavors?
It's she's done the thing on the inside where she has poured in different colors of batter to make it all swirly. So it's
great.
Sort of chocolate and vanilla marble cake.
Mm-hmm. Okay. She takes a bite and she kind of is thoughtful about it for a second, and then you see her face, her eyes open in surprise, and she starts to choke.
Oh no!
And collapses on the ground. Everybody immediately rushes to her, and Heath is like, keep it rolling. She is dead. Donna starts screaming again, and Sheriff Dalrymple runs up. Sue and Tim run away in the confusion. And after a long, kind of drawn-out police investigation, finally, now that everybody is like, okay, we cannot finish filming this, it is discovered that your workstation had the poisoned flower at it.
No.
Mine?
Yes. And that when Jane ate the cake, she was also inadvertently poisoned. So I think you probably spend a night in custody, but you are exonerated eventually. Maybe by the help of your friends with the sheriff.
First arrest. That's so exciting.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so Sue and Tim are at large. Paul is dead. Scott is dead. Jane is dead.
Oh.
But the murder mavens stayed true to their name, and amidst a whole flock of murders have solved the mystery of the great Brindlewood Bay bake-off. Yeah! Good job, guys.
We absolutely should have looked for the poisoned flower. That's on us.
Yeah.
You can only consider so much,